To pray, there's no angels where I go, only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kira's show here. Now, sorry for not posting for a while. I've been running around for a minute, and I also had to wait for it to get quiet. So, let us begin. Whenever we last left off, Midoriya, he has just been flying towards the remains of Coast City. Now, Jiro, she does want to go after him. However, Sarah, the woman who is in the bat suit, going by the title of Batman, or at least going under it, told her that she should wait for a minute. In fact, if she goes right now, things will not be easy for her. She's still recovering. Her telling her that she at least has to try and get there. Now, Sarah doesn't really condone that, but at the same time she can't really stop her. Not right now. Telling her that if she does go, she does at least need to use something. Keep herself safe. And try not to get in any fights. Her just immediately disregarding this. Saying that if she wants to get in any fights, she would head for someone to fight. Right now, she's going after him to make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. As the two are in the elevator, having this conversation, it's opening and her looking at Lex Luthor. Still at least making 3D models of this suit. As she actually does ask him for, well, something. Is there any way that she can heal faster? Anything to speed up her recovery time? Him just saying that he could make it, but it would take quite a bit of time. In fact, the pill he gave that boy was the only one he had manufactured. The others are old experiments. However, the side effects are, well, they're devastating. I don't care. Just hand me them and I'll be on my way. I'm afraid I can't do that. When I say the side effects are devastating, I mean devastating. And most of the tests we did, our super soldiers, died hours after using them. So, under good conscience and because that boy might kill me, I'm not going to give them to you. Even though the healing factor they do provide is amazing. And all good. So you gave Midoriya a suicidal time capsule. Or superpowers and no limits. Well, no. We're at least able to bug that out in the previous versions. And that was version 1 that I'm talking about. However, you do notice more side effects in other versions. The last one was mental insanity. In our latest test, tweaking them, we were able to get rid of that possible side effects. However, even if that does occur, that boy is far too insane. He has Batman in his head, Umbrax, his own thoughts, and, well, the list goes on. In fact, that boy, it would be amazing if he even does recover. Her being annoyed, asking Lex if she can just take that suit then. Heading over straight to his, well, the Lex Corp suit. Him just saying, fine, not like she'll get much use out of it. And giving her access to it. Her hopping into it and then flying off. Now, this Batgirl is left there, with Lex Luthor, keeping an eye on him. Yeah, this is going to be annoying. Now let's get back over to Coast City. Or at least nearby it. Midoriya, he's flying into it. He does actually feel this pain in his chest as that symbol just begins to glow straight through his uniform and be visible. As soon as he enters the city, he immediately drops to the ground and begins to start screaming as he can hear it. He can feel it. There's something here. What is it? No. Midoriya's soul can feel Midoriya, itself actually beginning to walk towards him and get closer, running in that direction, until it does actually stop and see Midoriya's body, himself, thinking for a minute. What is that? Is that me? But I can't reach him. Holding his hand out and thinking, this is the barrier. This is usually where it stops. Please. As he takes another step forwards, with his hand outstretched, opening his eyes, he moved forwards. For the first time in forever, he was actually able to take a step beyond this point. Him actually getting really excited. As he would go to run for his body. His body just looking up to see him. As you do have quite a few people arrive. People who are tracking Midoriya and decided that today is the right time to make their move. Midoriya seemed to weaken as soon as he fell. As you do have Nightwing teleport in, along with Hawkman and Hawkwoman, along with the new Superman, and, well, the new Batman, as he claims. Damian Wayne. After graduating from his hero high school, he basically forced Dick Grayson to stop trying to take on the mantle of Batman. He will take it on himself. Now, they would all run over and go to subdue Midoriya. As soon as Midoriya does feel someone grab his hand and try to pull it behind his back, he would just immediately twist his palm, pulling his hand closed and creating a force field, blasting everyone away from him, telling them all that that is not going to work. Trying to stand up and get onto his feet. He feels his body being overcome with just pure, well, fire. Something. This burn, what is it? Is this life? What are these? These feelings? What are they? As they all just do stare at Midoriya. Zatanna actually just saying that this is not right. Her just looking in a different direction. Saying that there's someone coming towards them. There's something flying through the air. Right now, they need to hurry. That is possibly his backup. As the new Superman would directly jump onto his back and try and grab him, trying to hold him close, saying that he is not going to escape this. As he begins to try and tear apart his hood, trying to tear apart that construct he has around his face, declaring that he is not Batman, as he just rips off the cowl and the cape. And he gets sent backwards into the ground. All the watching as Midoriya would just turn, revealing his face, and sending a large blast directly out towards his Hannah. That being largely ineffective, as Superman does blast out his own heat vision, countering his Yellow Lantern blast, saying that, Red Crimson, you're alive? But why are you? I am not that person anymore. As Midoriya would just be shot in the back, feeling these bounce off of his uniform. Turning around to see Jason Todd, as he himself just begins to fire guns at him, saying that he's been affected by the Lazarus Pit. Don't believe a single word he says. As Midoriya would just throw out his hand, trying to blast at him. as someone comes in. Hawkgirl comes in, smashing him directly across the face with a mace. And Hawkman does actually go airborne to hold off the person coming after Midoriya. This will be interesting. So let's see who it is. As Jiro does bring up her hands, closing it and blasting away as Hawkman with his kryptonite weapons. Something made to take down Superman. All of them watching as she does land, and look up at them. All of them confused for a second. Midoriya is saying that Jiro shouldn't even be here. Why is she? I'm here to help you, idiots. Now why did you come to Coast City? I don't know why. As there's a bit of a noise, Zatanna looking in that direction and seeing a soul. Another Midoriya. Her herself beginning to speak backwards, and trying to cage it. Telling him that he needs to pass on and move to the afterlife. After they take down the villain, then he should be free to go. Free to move on. As Midoriya would just say that he doesn't want to move on. This being an echo of Midoriya turning around, looking straight at him. As once again, he gets shot in the back, and hit by a few batterings as he goes falling down onto his knees. Hawkgirl actually smashed him across his back with the mace. As he actually does turn around and grab onto the mace this time, getting electrocuted, and immediately hit to the ground. Damian, or the new Batman, would run forwards, pulling something out from underneath his cape, running over and forcing it on Midoriya's head. As Midoriya would be donned with the helmet of Dr. Fates. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, it is a very fucking powerful helmet. However, the drawbacks to it is you don't control the helmet. It controls you. Now, that being said, Midoriya's outfits would change, as his hands would just drop and all the rings would come off of it. Him just getting back up, and looking around, before turning around and seeing the wandering soul. Going to actually bring his hands up and send it to the afterlife. As Midoriya would just do one thing. He tries to fight back. In his mind, he is speaking with the helmets. A golden embodiment of this power. Telling it to let him go. He didn't choose this. Yes. The mortal known as Izuku Midoriya. I know quite a lot about you. Now, I am aware that you did not choose this, but you are becoming an ongoing threat. And you are disrupting balance. In fact, the way you are going right now, you are going to disrupt everything. As a figure began to walk towards him. A man with a golden body. Or at least that looks like Dr. Fate's outfits. Going on to state that he must say that he's sorry. Usually mortals succumb to his control and allow him access to them. But he needs an avatar. Someone to stay connected to. So, I understand that you do not like being a pawn. But, for now, I will apologize. I will not kill or force you to do anything. Midoriya is walking forwards and grabbing Dr. Fate by his collar, telling him that he's been a pawn for as long as he remembers. Do you know what the last 5 years of my life have been? In fact, how about I just give you a brief summary of the past 4? Within the past 4 years of my life, it's been hell. I've been forced to murder trillions. In fact, I'm pretty sure I got a good estimate. Do you know who the Spectre is? The person in Dr. Fate's body, quote unquote, taking a step backwards. And wondering for a second, the specter appeared to you? Yes, in fact, he gave me this little mark on my chest. The mark began to glow with power, and showing it off. Dr. Fate actually beginning to at least feel Midoriya's fight, his struggle. In the real world, Dr. Fate has his hands up going to blast away the spirits. As it just does one thing, the hands start moving away. But they're clearly trying to move forwards too, or at least blast away. And then being parted to the sides. And obviously, there being a struggle. Everyone just watching that. How is he doing that? Entertainer would just say that that's not possible. As the hands finally stop at the sides, Midoriya's body just screaming and chanting out to "Come here!" as the soul would run forwards, jumping directly into Dr. Fate's. Everyone just watching as Midoriya drops down to his knees. And inside the helmet there is a reunion. The two standing there and seeing each other. Dr. Fate watching this reunion take place. The body and the soul. As the two would just walk forwards and hold out their hands to each other. As soon as they take it, there is a bright glow and a large flash. Back in the real world, one thing happening. Midoriya bringing his hands up and taking the helmet off of his head. Chucking it into the distance as he just turns back to everyone. His rings coming back up into the air and coming back to him. All sliding onto his hands. As he just tells everyone that that is a lot better. Now, Midoriya would just say that he's guessing he has some explaining to do. All of them just staring at him with weapons drawn. Hawkman actually holding up a blade, saying that you're damn right you have some explaining to do. And you, why are you with him? You're a pro. Listen to me. All this is explainable. I doubt that. Hawkman walking straight forwards, and telling him that if it was, then he wouldn't be acting like this, the way he just was. Zatanna wanting to explain it too. Azure is going saying that he was disconnected from his soul. So it's quite obvious as to what happened. Well, what happened was, he's alive. And he's murdered quite a lot of people again. It sounds quite familiar to his old sob story, doesn't it? As Hawkman was just going saying. Midoriya is just saying that he didn't want to do that. Walking directly up to him, saying that if he wanted to, then he could have. But how about I let you know this? The League of Assassins just used my corpse and brought me back from the dead a year and 7 months ago. If my timetable is correct. As soon as I died, I was dug back up. A fresh corpse thrown into the Lazarus pits. As Midoriya would just point up to his hair and actually begin to move it around. Thinking that there has to be some type of streak, isn't there? Damn it, where is it? As he was just going saying that he has been with them for almost 2 years, so cut him some slack. He's quite literally just been an emotionless beast for that time. And I'll have a question for you, Hawkman. How would you feel if someone made you murder trillions of people, only for you to gain control back, trying to clean up that slate, only for it to be shattered and broken once again, ruining all of your life's work? You don't even understand what I've been through, kid. Oh, really? What is there to understand? I've had more blood on my hands than you have in all of your lifetimes. Now, back off. Carter Hall. I don't even think that's his real name. I think that's a Hawkman name, but not the current one. Anyways, now, Hawkman would just go on saying that he told him to turn himself in. Besides, you just resisted Dr. Fate, while explaining that Zatanna actually wanting an explanation for that too. Midoriya is getting angry and backhanding Hawkman across the face, telling him that he said to leave him alone. Now, that would be whenever everyone does take up a fighting stance, and Superboy would go to rush forwards, trying to actually fight with Midoriya. Midoriya just bring up his hand and blocking Superboy's hand with the constructs, as he begins to wrap around him and actually pierce through his skin, hurting a bit. Midoriya just forcing him to the ground, throwing out chains and wrapping around the new Batman, turning his hand and pulling down. As you actually just think, everything he's felt and everything he's done, he's been used as a pawn once again. Why do people keep using me? As he smashes his hand downwards, and things begin to appear all around the battlefield, from out of the ground, sprouting outwards. You do have things like chains, weapons, and artillery, along with just explosions and things happening. People will get wrapped up, hit by projectiles, and at least get hurt. Joe trying to at least take on Superman, blasting away with the Lex Luthor suit, as he would just begin to try and fight her, coming up into the air and grabbing her by one of the arm gauntlets and trying to pull off the panels to it. He doesn't know the suit like his father does, so if he can at least just take it apart, then that would be perfect. As he does just blasting him once more, along with being hit in the back by a projectile explosive. It's just knocking her forwards. Now, she goes smashing into the ground, Midoriya looking at this and blasting out his hand, with fear and love. As soon as it does hit Superman and Batman, the two would be sent flying. Midoriya does at least think, funny, I have memories from separate timelines that I know of. Let's see. Time in Coast City, time with the League. Both those are crazy and would drive anyone insane. Especially whenever I could not leave this city, this smoking crater. So, I'll tell you guys one thing. I've always tried holding myself back. Now, up in space, we do have the Ultraviolet Midoriya, who has arrived. And he feels Midoriya's anguish, his shame, and his fear. But the thing he's latching onto is his shame as he just flies down, ordering his core to stay here. Now, let us cut back down onto the planets. Midoriya is just blasting away and taking on the entire Justice League. What's left of it? The original 7 were originally the Triple S class, possibly even above that. These are A or S class heroes. Then again, he's never faced them before, as you do have more people beginning to come in. You do have Magan and the Young Justice members. All of them do want to know what's going on. They weren't even told about this mission. And now everyone is just fighting each other? What is this? As she actually does fly in and try and link everyone up. Now, as soon as that does happen, a lot of the Young Justice members will be in shock to see their old friends, Midoriya. Him just standing there and holding someone by their throat, telling them that he said as he just begins to sock them across the face, to leave him alone. Before he does just simply throw them to the side, and look back at the others. A lot of them do see him, That outfit he's wearing, he's the evil Batman. Midoriya? As Superboy would just step forwards, along with Magon. As they do at least think for a second, how is this? Someone just screaming out Lazarus Pits. As Jason Todd would go to fire off his guns. Midoriya just throwing up his hands and catching the bullets out of the air. With force fields. As he does actually begin to turn them around. Turning them around and throwing the metal remains of the bullets straight at Jason Todd. Bringing his hands up to block them, he would get a shrapnel stuck into his left arm. As one of his guns does block the other hits. Getting shattered in the process in the metal flying into his mask. As he does at least hit the ground screaming and clutching his arm. Magon just thinking, trying to look into his mind and link up with him. There has to be some way to calm him down. However, looking into his mind, she does see things. The events from before he died, how he did it, him just screaming and clawing away at his chest, before him just waking up in the Lazarus pit, screaming and angry, along with that weird energy. What is that? And then what he's had to do throughout the rest of his life up till now. Seeing the separate timelines in the Batman events. As she just drops to her knees and begins to scream out in pain. Screaming out that it's too much. It's too much for some person just to handle. As one thing does happen. A purple dome forms around everyone. Including, or except for, Midoriya. As chains lash out and immediately grab him, wrapping him up. Midoriya confused as he looks down at these. Purple. Trying to turn around and look and see what that is. As it is the ultraviolet power. Everyone in shock seeing this, especially Jiro. As one thing does happen. The purple, ultraviolet power just go on saying that you're not me. Oh, really? I'm more human than you are. I can see straight through you. You're not Izuku. I'm Izuku. Sure you are. You want me to tell you what you actually are? You are another piece. Midoriya trying to use his power. As he teleports away. The chains just falling down to the ground. As Midoriya teleported over to Jiro. Grabbing her and then trying to smash through the top of these shields. As she does at least get back up. Breathing a bit heavily. Blasting away the shields with this, power like their suit has. Before the ultraviolet power would just say, Jiro. You're Jiro. Lowering the shields and walking over to her. As soon as he does touch down to the ground, he does at least look at her. And then move forwards. Staring directly at her, confused. Asking if, he's real Izuku. He's the real one, right? Her just looking down at it. A bit shocked and confused. As you just say that you're not him. I'm not Izuku? Then who am I? It's fuzzy. Hard to remember. Well, this is odd. As Magon is going saying. Everyone at least trying to mutter to themselves and exchange ideas as to what that is. That's not Umbrax, they killed him. Magon saying that she's not so sure. It might be a part of Midoriya. Umbrax was living energy, and it was connected to Midoriya, right? Yeah, so what of it? So what happens whenever you take the living thing, or, Umbrax, out of the equation? What's the only other thing living it's connected to? You're kidding me. So that thing is another Midoriya? We already have one psychopath on our hands. Jiro just saying that he's the real one. The energy getting angry, and immediately running forward to try and grab at Midoriya, saying that he's an imposter. As soon as it does grab at Midoriya's throat, it does feel pain, as its power, or its hands, of its body, fade directly into Midoriya, straight into his chest as he just takes a step backwards. The arms disappeared. Midoriya's eyes just glowing with purple energy. As this thing just looks at his arms, and drops down to the ground, thinking for a second. I'm not real? What am I? You're the ultraviolet power. As Midoriya steps forwards, saying that you come from, well, a place beyond. In fact, you're part of me. You're the totem of this ability. Then how are we existing at the same time? When I died, you left me. Searching. You should have used the ring to try and find someone else. The ring. As it just looks down to the ground, trying to use its power to pick it up. As soon as it levitates into the air, Midoriya just grabs it and slip it onto his finger, saying that he's sorry. But you're not real. Now, as he does actually bend down, bringing his hand up and putting it onto this version of him, his shoulder, saying that, but you are a part of me. Now, I'm going to take you on. We're going to become one again. Then we become the real Midoriya. I'm a fake too. Real Midoriya? Yes. Will be something new. Be someone new. This imposter, or energy, is nodding, as tears begin to stream down his face. Midoriya just pulling it in, and absorbing it, as a powerful explosion which send everyone flying away. And Midoriya just get back up. As soon as he does get back up, though, everyone does see him in his old hero outfits. As he does actually look around, thinking for a second. Well, that's perfect. Bringing his hands up to fight as Hawkman rushes forwards, throwing out his sword and just saying that he is not going to get away with this. I don't care about that little sob story you had. You are being taken down for our friends. Going to lash out forwards, but Midoriya just throwing his hand up and creating constructs. And change wrapping around Hawkman's forearm, pulling it down to the ground and throwing it into place. The sword hitting the ground as Hawkman does actually get pulled down to it. And he actually does at least try and throw out his other hand, trying to reach for Midoriya. As he just says that this is not over, trying to pull away the chain. Midoriya just telling him that it is, and that he is sorry. Turning back to Jiro and looking straight at her. Jiro stepping out of the suit, and then just embracing Midoriya, asking him if he remembers, as he would just give her a large kiss. The two embracing each other. Him just saying he remembers everything. He's so sorry for leaving her alone for all that time. I can't imagine what you've been through. Shut up, dummy. I'm just glad you're back. So am I, trust me. Now, as Midoriya turns around, looking to see everyone still staring him down, as he does scan the battlefields, looking for Superboy. As he does think for a second, where is he? Where is he? Not able to see him. And he just jumped directly upwards into the air. Superboy coming directly out of the ground and trying to attack him. Midoriya throwing his own constructs and a bubble. Superboy smashing into it as nothing happens. Midoriya just throwing out his arm and wrapping it around Superboy's throat, before overhand chucking him into the distance. Now, that would be whenever Midoriya flies back down, picking up Jiro and grabbing the suit and the constructs, and flies away. Now, with that being said, everyone is left there, still in shock. The ones who get up next are the ones who need to shake off the explosion. Whatever just happened was not good. Apparently, this guy, he's been split into multiple pieces. So what happened? As Magal was just going saying that guy's been through a lot. They need to trust him. But, well, it's what he plans on doing next. I read his mind. He's going to, as Damien, cut her off, saying that he's going to go murder the League of Shadows, isn't he? Wait, how did you know I was going to? Well, because someone used him as a vessel for destruction again. A avatar of murder, if you can call it that. Last time, my father interviewed him about this. So, what would you do if the world had, if someone made you butcher 2 million people? Let alone the amount of people he's been told to kill. Well, I don't condone that, but, well, you're going to make the last people you kill the ones who caused you all that trouble, aren't you? In fact, what would you do back on Mars if you could save the Green Martians' lives? All you had to do was kill one man. That being whenever people tell him just to stop. Damien is saying that, then again, he cannot let that man kill his mother. That man is no longer the hero they once knew. In fact, he is a villain. Something far worse than they ever thought. He has the League straining my father's abilities, and that much power just on each one of his hands. So, what's going on is he needs to be taken down. My father's contingency plans will work perfectly. Kid, you're an idiot. As Hawkman would just say, the best way to take him down is going to be that they have to kill him. Make sure that he stays dead. He's had to deal with people like this before. Sadly, though, it's not going to be easy. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.